Sony and Firewalk Studios' Overwatch clone just finally released, and it is already a spectacular disaster because not only did it fail to peak over 700 concurrent players on launch day, but we now have a developer calling gamers a bunch of talentless freaks for criticizing the game and also silencing us. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, this game was a nightmare when it came to the open beta. Basically, nobody was playing it, even though you could just download it for free and give this title a shot. And I truly believe that from start to finish, this game has been a nightmare for them because they started it way back when Overwatch didn't really have any competitors. They thought they were going to create this big hero shooter, and now it's 8 years later. Yes, development for this started 8 freaking years ago, and they're still stuck in 2016 when Overwatch came out. It's a $40 game when all of their competition is free to play. It's only got a couple of maps and a couple of heroes. It does not offer you anything you could not get in another game. And to top it off, it's just a worse version of Overwatch. The characters are supposed to be very similar and play very similarly, but yet at the same time, they're worse. Their abilities are a little bit bizarre. I had tried the free open beta. I did not like this game at all whatsoever, but hey, I still tried to give it a shot, and now we have developers melting down over the fact that it's a failure. But let's take a look at the Steam charts first before we get into that. As you can see, PlayStation's giant new game that they've been heavily marketing. They've clearly put a lot of marketing money into, given all of the advertisements we've seen and the fact that it's been at all of the game showcases lately. And it's estimated that they've spent, judging by the prices we know, about $500,000 to put their trailers at things like Summer Games Fests, the Game Awards, etc. But it failed to peak over 700 players on Steam on launch day. Now, yes, this did launch on other platforms and we don't know those numbers, but one would assume if they're this bad on PC, they're probably just as bad on console, because we do know that if you look at the competition, again, like Overwatch, PC, as far as we've been told multiple times, is the largest platform. So it's not looking good for them. Currently, on the Saturday of release, again, just launched yesterday, middle of the afternoon, when everybody is home, everybody's playing video games, 419 players right now. And then the 24-hour peak is 697. These are abysmal numbers. I expected them to be bad. I didn't even expect them to be this bad. I thought, yeah, the beta numbers were not that good, but there are probably a lot of people who just didn't get to play the beta because they're only for a short amount of time. Of course, they only last a couple of days, so maybe it just didn't fit into a lot of people's schedule. I mean, even I was trying to cope for them, saying maybe it'll be better at launch. And it's hilarious to see that that actually isn't the case, that it died right out of the gate, and the release date peak concurrent player count on Steam is roughly 70% less than the game's open beta. Absolutely atrocious. But to top all of that off, now we have a former Play Concord developer not only calling gamers a bunch of talentless freaks, but hiding responses on their tweet thread. So there are a lot of people who are talking about this game right now. This developer thought it was a good idea to try to, I guess, take to social media and voice how excited they were about this game launching. Their name is Xander. They said, "It's Concord release day. So insanely proud of the team and what they and we have accomplished." By the way, this is someone who is not currently at Firewalk, but they were previously on it. A labor of love like nothing else. Been playing it so much since early access started a few days ago, and I'm so excited for it to be available to everyone, and I'm so honored to have had this be my first AAA game. Well, your first and probably last. This is Firewalk's probably first and last release. Again, Sony bought them back in 2021, thinking that this was going to be the giant Overwatch competitor, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen. It was a huge learning experience, lots of struggles, but I'm glad to have gone through them. Time to go and play. And then, of course, people are commenting things like, I'm so sorry this had to be your first. I do not believe it is you or any of the other devs' fault that this game has performed so poorly. I can tell that a lot of effort was put into completing this game. It just came at the wrong time and genre. It came at the wrong time, the wrong genre. I don't think that they actually put a lot of effort into it, given they marketed it towards modern audiences, and every single character design is a pile of trash. Every single character backstory is just generic activist slop, and how characters were wronged, and how they want to make the world a better place, and how, they want to fight against the evils of, like, the controlling government. I mean, this game truly has it all, and when I mean it has it all, for all the wrong reasons. And then they responded, I don't really care. It was a huge labor from a lot of insanely talented people making an awesome game. I say this all the time. Every single bad product most likely has a few really good, passionate people behind it. It's just that the individuals who are higher ups at a company who maybe don't have a lot of talent overshadow their work. So you might have a game that is activism-filled slop, but there might still be a few individuals on a project that are decent and just wanted to try to create an okay game. Maybe there's a couple of talented people on this, but I just don't see anything that creeps through. It's not like it's got amazing visuals and you had an art director who was insanely good at their job. It's not like you had amazing music or amazing map design. There's nothing that stands out with this title. They also continued saying lots of insanely talented people making an awesome game. Why would I care about a bunch of talentless freaks hating on it? I'm sure having fun playing it, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. That is absolutely pathetic freaking behavior. Instead of just saying, hey, we faced a lot of criticism along the way, and that's fine. I get it's not going to be a game for everyone, and actually being respectful, they're having a meltdown, attacking not only gamers, but content creators. Of course, they would call me a talentless freak for criticizing this. They're calling you a talentless freak for simply daring to speak negatively, and let's be honest, speak honestly, because that's what we're doing. We're not criticizing games because we just want to hate games. We're criticizing games that we do not like the look of, we do not like the feel of, we do not like the concept of, and it is okay to criticize. These people will take any criticism and then call it hatred and harassment, and then belittle and insult anybody who they view as the kind of opposition, that they view as their enemies. And then instead of just being respectful, they show their true colors, because they could have come out of the gate and said, yeah, we totally understand this isn't a game for everyone. There's a lot of people doubting us right now. We hope over the next, I don't know, we'll just say year for argument's sake, that you give us a chance, that you follow our roadmap, and maybe we can change your mind on the game. That would have been an amazing response, a very respectful response, but these people don't have a respectful bone in their freaking bodies. And then we end up with people like this. I mean, it's career suicide speedrun achieved right here. You are never going to be taken seriously or respected if you attack the people that are simply criticizing your product, and ultimately the people you need to swipe their credit cards. Without gamers, without these, quote, talentless freaks, you're not going to have a studio, you're not going to have a game, and you're not going to have a job. It is pathetic to see people act like this time and time again, and they're getting absolutely blasted for this now, because even though they do not currently work at Firewalk, they still represent the product, and it's not a good look, because it makes it seem like there's probably other people on the development team that have this same mentality. But there are a lot of people making posts, specifically In this case, I'm going to highlight on my thread saying things like Concord Clown Cord game that can't manage 1K on PC honk honk. 90,000 people signed a petition to uncensor Stellar Blade, but Sony went all in on the repulsive at a glance, overpriced and unbalanced hero shooter 8 years past its prime. This is very freaking true. I can't hear them over all the noise of their concurrent players. Oh, wait. In before protected tweets, not a very smart move. Paper beats rock. Monkey beats large woman. Yeah, if you're looking for a game to play right now, I highly recommend that you go and check out Black Myth Wukong. It is a fantastic experience, and let's be honest, there's a couple of developers who have released games over the past few days to directly compete with Black Myth Wukong, and they're getting absolutely annihilated, like Red Thread Games with Dustborn, Sony and Firewalk with Concord. These were very bad decisions that they should not have made, but they did, and now they are reaping the consequences of their own actions. So I will be keeping my eye on Concord, seeing if any other developers come out and meltdown, if they try to make any statements. Only time will tell, but for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.